So ecologists also study populations of organisms and how those populations, the numbers change over time. And really when they're doing that study, they're looking at this population change formula. So which is basically, if you have all of the births and you take away the deaths, and then you add to that all of the immigrants, which are the people who are coming into the area or the population, and then you take away the immigrants, the people who are leaving, well, that will give you the total population change. And we can see, if we in fact ignore immigrants and emigrants, we can see that if we have 10 births every year and hardly any deaths, or 11 births a year and only one death, we'd have 10 people the first year and then 100, 10 times 10 the next, and then 1,000, and then 10,000, and then 100,000, then a million. So you can see that our population would increase really quickly, quite fast. And when that happens, that's an example of something called exponential population growth, when the population just shoots up quite quickly, when there's kind of nothing stopping it from going up very fast. So that's sometimes populations experience what's called exponential population growth, and that can result in a plague of organisms in some part of the world. But if we look at human population growth, we can see that in fact human population growth has followed a fairly similar curve over the last short period of time. It's stayed pretty flat, and then just over the last few thousand years, whew, it's just gone exponentially up. So the last few thousand years of human population growth has been a great example of exponential population growth. But of course, it can't go on forever. We can't have zillions or trillions and trillions of humans on Earth. It will have to plateau off at some stage. And so when we look at population growth, while we will often get an exponential part of population growth, at some stage the population of an area or even the whole planet will reach what is called the carrying capacity. And that is the maximum number of organisms that an area or an ecosystem can sustain for an unlimited period of time. So a population may in fact overshoot this carrying capacity for a little bit, but then there's not enough food, or there's not enough shelter, or there's not enough water, or there's too much disease will bring that population down a bit below the carrying capacity, and then good times might come back and go a bit up and a bit down. But a population of organisms cannot really survive beyond its carrying capacity for very long at all. So carrying capacity is the maximum number of organisms, or the maximum population number that a particular ecosystem can sustain over a period of time. But if we again look at population growth, we do look at the numbers of births, take away the numbers of deaths, add the number of organisms arriving to the particular area that we're studying, as well as taking away the number of organisms that are leaving that area. And population growth is something that ecologists study.